Greetings, humans! Hey, it's your boy Bird, and I just had to talk about the latest Dragon Ball Fighters, Fighter Z, whatever you want to call it. Not only character reveal, but also gameplay reveal. We need to talk about Beerus, because I'm not the only one who's noticed. He seems a little familiar to my favorite pool-playing assassin, Venom, here. And I can't help but think that it's almost like we have Venom from Bilty Beer. Or maybe Bilty Beerus, or something like that. But either way, I was shocked and amazed that they have essentially made Beerus into a function of Venom. Dragon Ball function. Yes, with a Z at the end. But we have to talk about this, because I'm so excited that I basically get to play Venom in another game. In a team game. With Dragon Ball characters. That's so awesome. Anyway, what I noticed from the gameplay is that Beerus' orbs act, of course, very similar to Venom pool balls. You hit him with pretty much any normal that'll reach him. Speed, velocity, direction, all depend on what normal you use. But regardless of what you do to the ball, or the orbs in this case, they will always bounce, like, on width to a point that you can hit them a second time. And that is just amazing. It's like, almost like their little, Bishop runouts, which is this super. Like, if I hit it, right, and it whiffs, bounces around, and boom, I can hit it a second time. And literally, it's like, every single orb Beerus has is a level 1 Bishop runout. You can hit it about twice before it dissipates. And it's the same thing with Venom's regular balls. They do dissipate over time. But, jeez Louise, this character does crazy shit. Like, he can summon 6 at one time. Venom here can do about 4 at a time. If you want to get 6, you gotta do some, like, really tricky shit, like this. There you go, I got 6 balls at one time, and, you know, they all fade, and blah, 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 but I just couldn't believe that Beerus can just, you know, without any additional crazy, I have to bounce shit off of each other, just gets to summon 6 of them. And it drew comparisons to Street Fighter V's Menat, because she does that with her V-trigger. But, obviously, the way that you send the orbs at your opponent definitely plays out more like Venom here. And the other crazy thing about them is that they are active as soon as you summon them. Like, here, I'm going to push Slayer into this ball. Nothing happens, right? Beerus orbs are active. They will explode on contact. Like, the opponent runs into them, they will get hit, or they have to block them. And it's just nuts, because literally, you just reposition them like they're little landmines, and your opponent, you know, can just hit them. So it doesn't even matter if the ball or the orb itself hits the opponent, it still controls the space just by hitting it. Even on whiff, which is nuts. Like I said, you can hit it a second time. Venom used to be able to hit pool balls a second time. Like, for example, let's say I hit, like, this one, right? I could then, back in the old days, used to be able to hit it again. So, you know, I'd be like, boink, and then, boom, that normal would hit it, and then it would follow the new trajectory. But you can't really do that anymore. Beerus, however, does get to do that, which is nuts. However, there is, like, a small trade-off. Watching and this is just from, like, the gameplay video, which features Beerus hit Goku Black. Like, there's actually 2 people playing. I noticed after the 6 orbs were summoned, you know, he sent some of them out, and we saw how they, you know, literally do the same exact same as Venom. They, same trajectory, speed, all that depends on what normals used to hit them. And I noticed this. Venom does have something a little bit unique. He can still hit balls in motion with other balls, like that. And the ball that bounces off of whatever ball essentially you shot last, that bounces off the balls that were already in motion, gets like a charge up too. His orbs do not bounce off of each other. They will just go through each other, which also brings up the interesting question, how are they going to interact with other projectiles? Because when Venom's ball runs into another projectile, it just gets canceled out. Will Beerus's orbs just go through other stuff, or will it trade? Hard to say. Will that be good? Will that be bad? Time will tell. But the simple fact, I mean, they basically put Venom, he's Venom, in another game. It's just, I'm excited if you can't tell. I love this character, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing with Beerus. I guarantee you, day one, that guy's on my team. Guy's on my team. The other thing to take note of is that Venom sets balls depending on what button you use. So, like, K-ball goes up there, H-ball goes forward, S-ball goes behind you, and P-ball just kind of sits down and in front of you. Beerus seems to do nothing but essentially what I would call a P-ball summon. Like, I see him summon it, just one orb by itself, and it just goes right in front of him. So that's, you know, possibly limiting, but he does stuff like this where he jumps into the air and then like kicks it down and it goes with the trajectory of this move. It's like really fast too. So it's really not necessarily a bad thing, just it seems like he's kind of restricted as to where he can initially put his orbs. Plus, I haven't seen him like try to summon multiple orbs at a time. So like Venom, if he summons multiple pool balls, gets formations like I did PK there. Here's KP, goes a little lower. You know, I can do like SH, boom, get this little spread pattern, or HS, and it sets up like that. I can like back up and smack that ball and drop down here. So it doesn't look like he gets patterns per se, except for when he summons all 6 orbs at once, and it's a set like they're all around him. But the simple fact that they're active, like even if your opponent rushes you while you are starting up the 6 orb summon, which does take, as you imagine, a little bit more startup, if they run into the 3 balls that go in front of you, they explode. Like literally they have to block them, and you can just retreat and work with the 3 orbs that you summoned behind you. So the character is nuts. It's like he has this formation around him all the time, except with 2 additional balls. It's insane. So sure, his orbs don't bounce each other around or anything, but the simple fact that when he hits them, they're still active, even on whiff, it really doesn't matter. Beerus is going to be crazy, and I can't wait until this game comes out. I imagine a bunch of Venom mains are going to go ham with this character. It is just nuts. And by the way, speaking of, like, hit, he's drawing comparisons to this guy over here to the right, Slayer. I'm not really I play Slayer, but I'm not really a Slayer player, if that makes sense. Really, I've been spending most of my time maining and just loving the crap out of Venom. But, oh man, I am super pumped for this, you know, basically shock out of nowhere with Beerus playing the way he does. So that's kind of my what I noticed, kind of, you know, speculation, whatever you want to call it, on Beerus or Venom from Guilty Beer. Like I said, I can't wait. I hope you guys are excited about this game. God, it needs to come out. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.